Harry's final exit. The lonely prince gets the most bitter end from the royal family. After much anticipation, Meghan's poor husband attends his estranged father's coronation, but receives anything but the royal treatment. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News. It may have been the most anticipated moment of the coronation on Basics for King Charles III at London's Westminster Abbey. And no, I'm not even talking about when the Archbishop of Canterbury placed the 360-year-old St. Edward's crown on the head of the king and said, I am talking about the arrival of his alienated, younger son, Prince Harry, who, along with his nasty wife, Meghan Markle, has repeatedly rocked the royal family with allegations and interviews and Netflix docu-series. And of course, that memoir spare ever since they left with the US back in 2020. As millions of people all around the world were watching, the 38-year-old was smiling, and he was talking with his cousins, Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, and their husbands, too. But he received hardly even a glance from his older brother, Prince William, and his wife, Princess Catherine. Of course, they were wearing royal regalia and they were seated in the front row. He didn't expect William and Kate to approach him at the Abbey, according to an insider who spoke with Star. But it's still strong. Harry had to sit in the third row, the same as his disgraced uncle, Prince Andrew, and he couldn't even see the ceremony very well, thanks to a feather in his aunt, Princess Anne's military hat. Harry looked very emotional sometimes during the 2-hour ceremony, and it's no. The source who spoke with Star claims that Harry considers his in-and-out trip to the UK his final goodbye to his family. He skipped a celebratory luncheon, and he headed right to the airport to fly home. Supposedly to celebrate his son Artificial's 4th birthday, the insider says he is loyal to his own family now. And if that means effectively writing his UK family out of his life, so. As Harry made his cameo at the coronation, the ghostwriter of Spare finally broke his silence. He shared his opinion on what makes Harry tick: a thirst for vengeance. While I always emphasize storytelling and scenes, Harry couldn't escape the wish. This bear might be a rebuttal to every lie ever published about him. This is coming from Junior Moringa, who spoke with The New Yorker. And, of course, Harry claims that most of those lies were given to the press by his own family. He and Meghan, who are also parents of invisible child Lily Bad, have repeatedly talked about their desire for an apology, or at least an acknowledgement from the royal family, and they have been left feeling disappointed. It was very apparent to Harry that he was being tolerated versus really welcomed or wanted at the coronation. According to the insider. The insider also added that his relationship with the Prince and Princess of Wales is non-existent. And that point was really demonstrated by all the slides that Harry had to endure. The source says that he had to do that in order to pay tribute to his father. In addition to being seated right next to accused sex offender Andrew, the military veteran was not allowed to wear his uniform. And as a non-working senior royal, he wasn't allowed to stand on the balcony at Buckingham Palace. Even though he was invited, he chose not to attend the celebratory luncheon. Harry's a very proud character. He wasn't going to walk into that viper's nest, according to the insider. Skipping the event was his way of saving face, a big F to his critics, because it deprived them the chance to snipe and go after him. Similarly, Meghan didn't want to come to the ceremony at all. She supposedly wanted to avoid scrutiny. In the end, the one glitch in that day was actually caused by William and Catherine. The couple and their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, got to the Abbey a little bit late, forcing an upset Charles to stew in the Diamond Jubilee coat with Wink and Miller before he got to make his grand entrance. "We can never be on time," he said, according to a proliferator, adding, "There is always something." Meanwhile, most people were just thrilled that Meghan declined to attend the coronation of the King and Queen because the atmosphere was so much nicer with her not being there. Although, to be honest, I was actually kind of looking forward to all the booming that she would have received. I thought that might help her, actually. so then she wouldn't feel confused anymore about how the Brits see her. After all, Meghan Markle only has that Duchess title thanks to the generosity of the late Queen. And really, it had nothing to do with making. It was only because the late Queen adored her grandson. And I don't believe she was so fond of him once she passed away. I'm pretty sure she couldn't stand that woman, though. And if she could have done so, I'm guessing she would have gladly taken back the gift. That woman never deserved that title anyway, and she should be losing it. In my mind, she's never going to be a duchess. I mean, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it is still a pig. She said when Artificial was born that she didn't want titled for the children. Let's remember. And then she went on Oprah's show. And she complained and said that they denied Artificial any titles because of the color of his skin, even though the fact is he was offered the Earl of Barton by the Queen. But Meghan didn't want. She is such a hypocrite. So I guess that's why she waited to announce that, in fact, she would take the titles, Prince and Princess, for those children. She did that to get attention from William and Catherine, who were in the news at the time. And I'm guessing she's not even going to feel like any explanation is required by her to the kids. She probably feels like she never has to explain for anything. And I don't believe those kids will be brave enough to question her. They're going to be pretty scared of her, I would guess, as they're getting older.